I've been rejected from so many things, and it's important. I think it's important for people who seem to be successful to speak very openly about their rejections, because I think so many young people, I remember thinking that you see someone who's successful and you're like, wow, they just had success, 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 because that's usually people erase all of the rejection in between and all of the stress and all of the anxiety. Um, and what I tell people, and I tell this to myself, if I'm not failing, if I'm not getting rejected, that means I'm not putting myself out there. If everything I'm doing is a win, that means I'm not reaching my potential. So even today, I'm not applying for school anymore, things like that, but I still accept, like, look, I should try things where I have a good chance of failure, because otherwise I'm not going to grow. So any student who, we've all been there, that you're applying to college or graduate school or a job, and you're like, oh, I have to get this job. If I don't get this job, or if I don't get to college, my life. And we know in hindsight that doesn't matter. Usually it's a blessing in disguise. You go down another path and you realize that as long as you have a positive outlook on that alternative path, it often can turn out much, much better than you expect. When I was coming out of business school, I had decided to take a career transition I used to work in tech, and then I wanted to go into finance in a hedge fund. I got rejected by about, I'm not kidding. I mean, I got rejected probably by about 100 places that I applied to. And of those 100, I probably had about 20 interviews. So like, by the end of my second year of business school, I still didn't have a job where all my friends had jobs, because I was trying to make this career transition. At the end, I got this job at this very small hedge fund. It was one guy. He was just starting to operate outside of his house. But it was a blessing. He ended up being, the best possible manager I could get, far better than a lot of the people who rejected me. So, I always, yeah, young people should recognize that rejection is a part of growth. And if you're not getting rejected, something's wrong. I gave a guest lecture at Stanford a year and a half ago. And then I said, anyone have questions? And the first person to raise his hand, he looked like he was, about 35 years old. I was like, oh, he doesn't look like a regular student. And he immediately started crying. I'm like, wow, what's going on? And then he says, no, I need to cry. He was crying. And he's like, okay, I have to. So this gentleman's name's Jason. When he was 18 years old, he was caught dealing marijuana, and he was sent to jail for I believe 20 or 30 years, for being a drug dealer at 18 years old. If his mother actually was the one who made him do it. So he had a very troubled home. But once he was put in jail, his mother sobered up and was trying to help him. And so she started giving him transcripts of Khan Academy videos. So they didn't have internet access in the prison. So she gave the printout of the words, and he started to just try to learn from that. Because he was a good behavior, he got his sentence from 30 years to 15 years. So he was released from prison at 32 years old. Then he actually has access to Khan Academy. So he starts going, he's so excited that he actually has access to the real Khan Academy. And he realizes that this was coming easy to him. And so he uses our SAT prep. He's using all the math, learning calculus. He takes the SAT, does very well, and then he transfers to Stanford University as a 32-year-old former prisoner. And there he was in the classroom telling me the story.